Welcome to the Steve Stomber YouTube channel. I'm your host, Steve Stomber, and today we're going to be jumping into the DIY Cabot launching wheels setup. So without further ado, let's jump to our reporter on the scene, Steve Stomber. Steve, what are you seeing out there? Thanks, Steve, and as you can see here, I'm on one of the world's most exclusive beaches because I hit that stimmy. But anyway, we're going to be getting into this DIY Cabot solution if you have a narrow transom. How to get some launching wheels on there, let's jump into it. Now the first step here is to get the Cabot inflated. There are 4 separate tubes on the Cabot, so there are 4 different areas that we need to fill this up, and each one has this special spring mechanism that locks it into place to prevent any air from escaping once you're done inflating it. Now, as I covered before, the manufacturer recommends a horsepower of 5 on this inflatable Cabot, but as you guys know, we stuck on that 1989 Johnson 15 horse 2-stroker. And then once his launching wheels came in, I quickly realized that we were gonna have to make some modifications.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Now when the launching wheels came in, I quickly realized that we had an issue. So if I mounted them directly onto the transom like I originally intended, then there wasn't gonna be enough space for the engine to get a full turning radius, which is a safety issue. So I quickly realized that I had to bolt them about 4 inches out. So since I already have the launching wheels at my house, I have the boat engine, which I already spent $1,000 on, and I have all the materials, I wasn't about to start returning things and trying to find another solution. I wanted to figure out a solution for what I had. So I quickly hit the drawing board and realized that if I mounted the transom wheels or those mounts out about 4 inches away from the transom directly, so a 4-inch space from the transom to the actual mount of the launching wheels, then I would get a full turning radius on this outboard engine, exactly what I needed. But how am I exactly going to mount this about 4 inches out? And what I did was I bought some 2x4s, some marine caulking, and some really long bolts. I'm not sure what the size was, probably like 5.5, maybe 6 inches. So what I did was I bolted the first 2x4 directly onto the transom. I did have a rubber seal in between that piece of wood, and it was treated wood between that and the transom. And then what I did was I bolted secondary bolts from that first block of wood to the second block of wood to give me that 4 inches of distance that I needed. And then I added a bunch of marine caulking, painted it up, and tried to make it look as nice as possible. And then on that last 2x4 is where that transom mount mounted. Now, some of the final touches I wanted to put on was these launching wheels came with these metal pins, but at no point do I want to drop these into the water and lose them when I'm launching the boat. So what I did was I put on these metal chains, and clearly I did not put on stainless chains just because they're rusting to crap, but we'll fix that another time. So this is how the launching wheels clip into place right here. So in that bottom position, those pins would be used if we're actually going to be wheeling this to the actual launch or boat ramp. And then when we're in the water, what we do is we take that bottom pin out, and then I put it up top and clip it around this metal wire that I have, and that actually keeps it out of the water when we're motoring along. Now for this diamond plating on the front, the story behind that is, so the Cabot originally came with this transom mount, but I had to cut it right where the bolts were. It was hanging off to the side, so that front part was no good. And I needed something solid in order for this engine to rest upon and not really dig into the transom and cause any damage. Now I really like the look of this diamond plating. Not only is it structurally sound, but it just looks pretty sweet. And then what we did was we just had some nice black spray paint around all the marine caulking to make this look actually pretty good. Before, when it was all white marine caulking, it looked terrible. Now this was my solution. I'm not sure if you guys have had the same issue with this similar Cabot or any other inflatable boat in terms of getting launching wheels when you have a very narrow transom. But if you guys have used a different solution, make sure to let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely interested to see if maybe there was a better way to do this. I'm also interested in your feedback on this DIY solution. I know it's pretty redneck, hanky-janky, but this is season number 2 and it is holding up amazing. There's no leaks, nothing. So in the next video, we're gonna be doing a top speed test on this Cabot with this 15 horse 2-stroke Johnson. Now in the first video that we did this in, we had a top speed around 15 miles an hour. But in this new attempt, we're gonna be attempting with better weight distribution, maybe a tiller extender as well. I'm gonna be shooting to get over 20 miles an hour in this inflatable boat. So that's it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said, if you had any questions on how I set this up, drop it in the comments below. Jeez. Can't even get into a chair. I ripped it. No. Fuck. Well, alright, well. I don't want another one.